Here we are, another day in paradise with A Day in Miami.
Let's
now,
go.
This is a good one, guys. We have Edwin Gonzalez with the Miami Seaquarium. So, just by saying Miami Seaquarium, you already know what this is going to. Is this all myth, or are we going to find out the truth of what's happening in the Miami Seaquarium today? A lot of people are going to be for and against this podcast, but we're going to get everybody's perspective. Edwin, welcome to A Day in Miami.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure to have you here.
I'll start with saying that we are open.
Okay.
We are open,
Okay.
and welcome for everybody to come and see us and visit us. So
Yeah, I mean, I was telling you earlier, I thought that you guys were closed, after the whole situation that happened down there, which we're going to get that to eventually. But for those people who don't know you or don't know who you are or your position with the Miami Seaquarium, explain to them a little bit about, who you are and what you do exactly.
sure. I'm the executive director of the USA Parks, working for the Dolphin Company. Dolphin Company owns the Miami Seaquarium. They acquired the rights to run the property in March of 2022. So the animals, the buildings are part of the Dolphin Company. The property that we're on is a lease that we have with the county, a 20-year lease. I also have 3 more parks in the U.S., one in the Keys, one in Gulf World, and in one Marineland, in Panama City, and in San Agustin, Florida. So that's all the parks that I run for the US.
Okay, so I guess the ones right now out there to the viewers, are you evicted or are you not evicted?
We're not evicted. As a matter
You're
of
not
fact,
evicted.
You got to get some of the news. We were met in front of the judge for a hearing, and we're going to mediation with the county.
Okay, so why are we seeing the news, everything that the Miami Seaquarium is evicted, that you guys are in violation, that you guys are in everything? What comes of that? What happened?
Basically, the county has a lawsuit against us to try to evict us, and we're saying everything we've done. There's nothing we have done to give the county the rights to evict us. There's 2 lawsuits going on right now, one in the federal court, which we have against the county.
Okay, but wait, explain the federal court one.
The federal court one we have is for a civil rights violation that we feel the county has violated our civil rights, things like that, not giving us permits to improve buildings. They came and gave us 50 citations for things that were there for a long time. And a lot of stuff that I'm not going to get to the legal part of it, but that's kind of the lawsuit there that we're trying to recover some of the financial losses we have because of the restrictions we've been having.
Okay, so, and not related because I just want to go with that really quick. So that's a federal. When we talk about then the county-wise, that you see that the county is the one that's saying, no, we own that. So we have a right to push you out.
The county owns the land,
right?
But the animals belong to the Miami Seaquarium.
Okay.
So the Miami Seaquarium is the only one that has license to manage the animals by the USDA. The USDA gives you a license to take care of these animals, which we own. Nobody else. And the county, to be fair, the county has said the animals belong to the Miami Seaquarium, not to the county. They have 0 jurisdiction over the animals.
Okay, so, let's just jump into the other big one.
No, well, I mean, I feel like they kind of say that just to make sure that they don't receive any blame for something does happen to the animals. Mm-hmm. Because I'm sure if it was a place that everybody loved, they'd be like, yeah, we're part of that too, which is kind of politics to a degree. But before we get into like the deep stuff, I'm curious to know, is it even a profitable business? The way I hear you talking right now, selling tickets, I don't know how much people are going to that business right now, just to operate something of that magnitude, and then you're dealing with the county and the city and everything else. Is it profitable to have a seaquarium?
It is profitable. We can make money there. This year, because of the bad news and things like that we were closed, people think we were closed. Yeah, we're not making the kind of money we were making before, but it's a profitable business. If that, the Dolphin Company will not purchase it. And the Dolphin Company has over 30 what we call habitats, water parks swimming with dolphins throughout the world. So they believe this is a very profitable and a place that we want to continue investing and growing in the Miami Seaquarium.
It's incredible to me because I wouldn't think without the publicity and the the negative publicity, I don't know how many. I wouldn't think a lot of people go to the Seaquarium. Like that's what it feels like. And when you drive down to Key Biscayne, you always see a handful of like protesters and activists outside. So you're saying that has hardly any effect on like people actually visiting?
I'm not saying it has had effect, but the announcement that we were closed, the restriction. Our goal now is to say no, we're open.
Got you.
We're come back. All this stuff is just again, like I said. We are going to go to the kind of mediation. The judge asked us to meet and try to come up with a solution of what should we do with between both parties.
Right. So then I guess the biggest and let's let's address the elephant in the room, no? Because the whole situation here, biggest was the whole Lolita issue and the free Lolita situation, and the fact of PETA, everybody involved, and everybody talking about animal cruelty and the whole situation. So let me just take back to one thing that Eddie said. You see, I grew up so in the 80s and everything else, and I remember always going with family. I always remember going on field trips with my elementary, junior high, going to the Seaquarium.
Yeah.
I can never remember or really forget the fact that we would go there, and it was an outing that people would go, and there was really no controversial at that time, right? Just like I figure, okay, is there controversial when you go to Seaworld? Is there a controversial if you go to Metro Zoo? So what is it that happened? Because I remember my childhood going to the Seaquarium and not confronting these situations and these problems. Now, I see the other side of a lot of people, of activists, of the fact of confinement with animals and everything else. I can see their point. But what happened then? What happened that it changed from, those commercials that I remember with that song of "Come to Miami Seaquarium," and everybody ecstatic and everybody applauding, seeing the dolphins.
You were getting in the little wheel at school, like tickets to Miami Seaquarium.
I mean, you would leave with your little wax figure of Lolita, and you would have it in your.
It's crazy.
So what the hell happened? Where did everything go wrong?
I don't think people have changed their opinions about animals and captivity. They call it captivity when in reality a lot of these parks like ourselves, SeaWorld, Zoo Miami, we're educating folks. And like you say, there was activists not only with us, but in SeaWorld and the Zoo Miami. Guarantee you that we all get regulated by USDA or other government agencies. They're looking at us again. Yeah, PETA and some other activists are doing a lot of push and using their power to, influence or really tell politicians, hey, go out there, check this, do that. There, if you want our support, we need you to look into these things. And I think, things haven't changed a lot from the before, because one of the things we pride ourselves in is to do research with these animals that have been in captivity or were born in our habitats and educate kids. Give you an idea. Every December I bring the 5,000 role model into the park. And, these are the kids for inner city, things like that, coming with a beautiful white shirt, the red ties. That's the only opportunity these kids get to see some of these marine mammals and get educated. And the laughs and the smiles they get to see is incredible. And that's what we're all about, giving back to the community and getting people to understand these things. A lot of times, if you don't have resources, the only time you're going to get to see a dolphin that close is in our aquarium.
Yeah. So I want to go straight to it. So Lolita passes away. There was drone videos of her waiting, and there was rumors that she was going to get transferred to Texas, I believe it was.
Washington.
To Washington, and then I guess that never happened for obvious reasons. Then after she passes away, it was unclear of why she passed away. So I kind of wanted you to shed a little bit of light behind that. Also, we previously discussed the restrictions the county put on you in the way that you can operate with her. And then talk a little bit about, I know that you guys have animals, and I know that I'm sure 1,000,000% you guys love these animals and treat them like family too,
Okay.
So get into a little bit of the whole Lolita situation.
All right, I'll tell you, when we took over the park Dolphin Company back in March of 2022, one of the requirements by the county to take over is we were not going to have Lolita any longer in the show. So the county felt that she was old, it was time for her.
How old was she there?
She was already close to, I want to say in her late 50s, because she died 58, 57. And to let you guys know, in captivity, these usually live up to 40 years old.
Wow.
In captivity. So she lasted a lot longer. So we, of course, that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue improving the park and care. We had an amazing group of people taking care of her. As a matter of fact, vets, trainers, consultants. As a matter of fact, we were the only first company they actually partner with an activist group called the Friends of Toki.
That's good.
And between that, they came to see to make sure what we were doing is correct. Yep. And we agreed that our goal was to take Lolita and send it to a sanctuary in Washington.
Yep.
And
but how would that sanctuary be?
A sanctuary would be almost like the same pool we had there, because Lolita did not know how to eat by herself. She always had a company, a dolphin with her. We fed her, by hand, so she didn't know how to hunt. So it would be exactly like that, but having there a natural environment with again with vets there, with trainers.
But it wasn't like a difference. It's going to go like somewhere else.
No.
Gonna...
We're going to move her there to the sanctuary.
Got it.
Basically, the same thing we're
Live
doing.
your life out.
Correct.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
Gotcha.
Because, again, on that point, to Eddie's point, you had so many people. You know how everything gets here. When something hits the news and it's that moment. And again, I go back to the fact of what happened. Where did it go wrong in the sense that years past, everybody would enjoy and go see Lolita and jump, and everybody get wet. Everybody loved that.
After the Free Willy movie came out, it was just like it blew up to go to Seaquarium.
So then, I guess to your point, the activists and stuff like that. But I really think it's very important for people to understand. I mean, you guys, really had full-time service there all the time with
absolutely
vets and people taking
24-hour care of Lolita into the day she dies. We had 3 vets, full-time vets, so they get into her, about 6 trainers. We have consultants coming in to check the water quality. As you guys understand, you guys understand that I was telling you earlier that people would tell me, well, free her, let her go. These wells live mid 50s water in the cold weather, so you can't let her go there. Number one, she doesn't know how to hunt.
I don't know.
So, and again, we inherit this. We said this is something we took care of it. We spent millions of dollars taking care of her. Then we partnered with the Friends of Toki. Again, no one in history has ever partnered with an activist group to say, oversee us. Yeah. Come and see what we're doing.
But I was going to say, walk me through, it's early morning, I believe it was, or late night. You guys know she passed away. How is it? Like, how's the operation? How are you guys feeling? What's the next step? What are you guys doing there?
Well, when she passed away, I mean, we thought...
You knew?
We were seeing some signs that she was getting ill and sick because animals, like all of us, we start moving or we give signs that there's time for us to go, to a better place, the bottom line. So we knew that, so we had our beds and things like that there. We lowered the water to make sure she was comfortable, make sure anything we could do to... get her back going. As she was old, I said, most of us are going to die of something. If we have high blood pressure, we start taking high blood pressure pills and something else is going to go back. With her, and again, I'm not a vet in that we have an expert vet, she was having some blood issues that she took care of, but she was taking some medications related to that. But eventually, the way I look at it, she died of old age.
Yeah. Incredible how you can give medication to an animal that size.
I mean, So then if you're telling me this, give me then a comparable, if you can, of what's the difference between the Miami Seaquarium and Seaworld?
Size. They're much bigger, a bigger corporation, multi-billion-dollar business. They still have killer whales in their shows. They're getting a lot of pressure, like, for the killer whales and things like that. They get regulated just like we do by the USDA of the World of Marine Mammals. They just... like we do, fix anything that USDA may come and say, oh, you got to fix it, do that. One of the things we're very proud of, and you guys haven't asked me, we guys had 2 reports from the USDA, one in April and one in July. They came in what they call a focus audit. A focus audit for the USDA means somebody could have called PETA or an employee or somebody, hey, I want you to look at this. So they come and look at something specifically. It's not like a random audit. See if we're doing something wrong. Both that say, we didn't find anything. You guys are doing exactly what we need to be doing. They take the opportunity not only to look at what they're being told to look, but look around. Things that you guys won't think about. We have to have a minimum, a fence 6 foot high.
Oh.
So most people will tell, well, look, wait a minute, dolphins cannot walk and jump the fence. Yeah. Oh, yeah, but that's a requirement.
Well, some of those dolphins that we see would jump.
Yeah, but from where they are, the pool to where the fence is, there's 38 acres of land there. So these are the kind of things that they look at, is your fence 6 foot high, the water quality. We have people working there 24/7, checking the water, checking our pump systems, checking into the animals, making sure they're...
How many employees do it take to operate that?
In the Miami Seaquarium, it's close to 200.
Wow. 24/7, no?
24/7.
24/7.
And another point that Ed had brought up, do you guys also take in, let's say, like animals that got hurt that, like I know, like in the Keys, they have the turtle sanctuary. That people, the turtles that get hurt, people bring them in and they, bring them back to health.
We will take animals that got hurt and things like that are marine mammals. They can take care of them, or a bird, things like that. I don't know if people know we have a bunch of parrots there.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know
we got stingrays, we have flamingos and things like that. So we have done that in the past. What we're trying to, it has to be something that we can, our inside people can take care of.
I say that because sometimes I see these things. Like, for example, we got the pandas. Mm-hmm. They brought the pandas back to I think it was San Diego. No, if I'm not mistaken. On loan from China for 10 years in order for these, for them to mate. But they're in a confined area. So then again, I go back to my original question: that what happened with the Seaquarium, that everything went, sour with the fact of, you have the San Diego Zoo, you have Metro Zoo. If you really psychoanalyze the situation, I mean, these are animals that are more or less in their own captivity as well. Mm-hmm. So was it the fact that there was stuff going on that's what they're...
And I want to tell you again, I'm not going to get to politics because that's what I do. I'll just tell you the facts. And I was involved when Toki died. We went to the county, had a meeting, and said, what are your plans? And our plans were, we want to build a restaurant, bring people in, maybe do a small water park, a pool, because all that is related. That happens, I'm going to say September and October. Come December, we get about 50 citations for building containers. I'm like, wow, 50 citations. I said, well, these containers been here 15 years, 12 years. I said, yeah, that's your problem. I'm like, well, wait a minute. But I said, we're going to do what we're going to do. But I just know, this thing is falling with us. Why is something we're responsible for that? Then all of a sudden we get in January a bunch of, week after week, the USDA audits. And we're like, wait a minute, what's happening here? So we call our attorney and said, wow, let's just start recording everything. Let's get everything. So there's no miscommunication because, if I tell you something, you may not understand me. But if I have it recorded like you guys doing there, everything's like clear. Yeah. So we went from, honestly, a lot of you guys read about this. Oh, we're going to confiscate animals from the Miami Seaquarium because they're not taking care of it. So, the USDA say, no, they're in compliance.
Wow.
But what the people heard is we were going to confiscate animals from the Miami Seaquarium.
But that's my point. Because at the end of the day, if you're saying that it's, the Department of Agriculture that regulates the animals, what was the county finding on your property that they were citing? Was it the water? Was the quality or something?
They will find things that we say, okay, this is wrong. And then the way these audit works, you have time to, you cure it. You fix it. So, okay, well, this is wrong, cure it. Fix it, move on. And that's what the USDA. If we were to do something that were not right, that people say, oh, you're mistreating the animals, they're suffering, the USDA will come and take your animals away. They're the only governing body can do that. And like I said, we just got a perfect score in April, another one in July. And so that means these guys, and these are USDA is not you and me. These are vets. Yeah. These are animal vets that come into the park and check every paperwork and make sure things are according to what they call their standards.
Well, I have no doubt that a lot of those animals there live better than some people that I know.
I'll tell you something. So, if any of our animals is sick, they get a 24/7 watch.
Yeah.
Actually, my trainers will sleep next to the animal in the floor.
I can only imagine. Yeah, because they create a bond with the trainer.
Absolutely.
Know? So going into that, you were talking earlier about people who visit the Seaquarium, and you were saying there's a lot of high-profile people that go out there. So give us a list of some of the celebrities or local celebrities that you've seen go by and enjoy the Seaquarium.
We had Jimmy Butler come in, Shakira come in, that baby came in recently.
For the ones that know the baby, because I don't know the baby. Sorry, baby, but
some other people there, we're doing a lot of great stuff. Like I said, I mentioned to you the 5,000 raw model. We're also now trying to do a partnership with Special Olympics to bring all athletes into the park and have an amazing ceremony. So that's something that is going to be amazing. I want to let everybody know because I want everybody to come and support these kids.
And the biggest attraction usually is swimming with the dolphins, no?
Swimming with the dolphins. We have a beautiful habitat there set up for the dolphins. There's been changes because we have to have shades, umbrella, things that a lot of you guys say, well, why do you have all this? Well, this is part of the USDA requirement. You got to continue improving and making things better.
I think about this and I'm saying, it's a shame that all this has happened. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's a shame that's happened. I understand everybody's point. I understand the people that the PETA people. I understand the people that believe that they're being held in captivity. But again, I always say, I think if this is happening here, it should happen then, uniformly all over. Everybody then should be held accountable for the fact of something. If people are against the animal captivity, all the other places, the zoos, everything has to be looked into then, because I feel that what's good for one has to be good for the other. Now, I do understand the sense that if you are in some type of violation, you go to these places sometimes and you see bad water or you see something else. I mean, those are things that have to be taken care of. But at the same time, I think it's a shame that such a big historic place as the Miami Seaquarium, at least for me, that I grew up, I was born and raised, I'm a native of Miami. That's what I grew up with, seeing the parrot jungle, the monkey jungle, the Seaquarium.
It's always been like a nice experience.
All these places, talking about that, if that's the whole situation, I mean, is it cruelty to have parrots in parrot jungle?
Or dogs?
Monkeys? I don't know. I mean, so again, that's...
I think what's happened is these are like first world problems in some cases. We live in a world of just, we get whatever we want anytime. You want to watch TV, you jump on Netflix. You want food, you order Uber. You want something the next day, you get Amazon.
That's now.
Yeah, so then so I feel like we've made life so easy for people that they're just going to start complaining about something,
Let me share something with you guys, which is interesting. We kind of talk about it. Two things, when we got a perfect score, which we were like, hey, man, high five everybody, because it's been decades. And before, with the old company, Palace, or the Hertz family.
Wait. Before you get into that, I want to do this the right way. So you tell me you guys get a perfect score from the USDA.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that perfect score and what does that mean to you?
What it means is USDA comes and audit. They say that somebody have called and say, we think you got to investigate here. So they come and investigate it. And they don't spend one day or a couple hours. They spend almost a week with us, looking at everything. Water quality, shades, animal, how they're doing. They look at their eyes. They videotape the animals. They take pictures. They look at the blood that we take up, because we weigh our animals daily. We take blood samples. We do a lot of stuff. So it's basically a whole examination. I was telling you guys, they walk the fence line, make sure a raccoon can go underneath the fence.
How often do you do that?
It depends if you're in their hot list or not. But for example, they're in March, and now they came back in July.
You were on the hot list after.
Yeah, we were on the hot list. Yeah, at the end of the night, because they were saying
so before you were in the hot list, where they come regularly as well?
Yeah, they will come regularly. They make at a minimum, they tend to come at least every 6 months.
So that's good.
Okay. So then, because what I'm trying to find out is, okay, it's nothing like you say, okay, they came and then now in 6 months, I'm going to screw everything up here.
Yeah.
And everything's going to,
So what they do is,
because then you have to work how long to get that back?
Correct. So the way it works is say, okay, well, I don't want you to use a white shirt. So they come back and they say, okay, you're not having wearing a white shirt. So they look to what they say
their recommendations.
And if you fix it, they're not going to report it again. Yeah. The way USDA reports say, oh, you're doing a great job. They're not going to say you do a good job, because they say that a lot too. But they get to say, if I don't report it again, means you fix what you have to do.
When was your last USDA then approval?
In July.
So you
got this year.
Yeah.
So you got a great USDA approval, right? Your team is happy, and the good news is being put everywhere.
Absolutely not, because I went to the media, I sent the letter, the first USDA report, and I have it here perfect, and nobody reported on that.
Wow.
Okay. But here's a funny part. I want to tell you a story. So everybody heard about the 2-inch nails in a dolphin mouth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does that work? Well,
for the ones that didn't hear it, I think you should explain that.
Okay, so there was a whole media out there going, oh, there was a 2-inch nail in a dolphin's mouth. And I'm like, yeah. But here's the truth. The truth is, we're in Key Biscayne. The water's polluted. Everybody knows the Key Biscayne water. There's pollution there. So the high tide comes in.
We're gonna have to get the mayor of Key Biscayne now to come and clarify that one. Okay, go ahead.
So if get pollution or something come over, the dolphins have been trained in their pools, and again, we use natural water from the Key Biscayne comes in. It's not like we get the
hose.
La pluma, the hose. Hey, get the no, and throw salt on it. No, it's there. So the dolphins have been trained to any foreign subject they see in their pool to bring it to the trainer so they can get a snack. Just like you do with your dog or a cat, bring me that. Here's a little thing. That's exactly what happened. People think that the dolphin had a nail stuck in its mouth. Yeah, no.
So what was it?
So he picked up something from the bottom.
He
to bring it to the trainer.
pick up a 2-inch nail, give it to you. Hey, okay, well, give me my fish. That was it.
Yeah. So that 2-inch nail found its way to the bottom of the tank somehow.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So we reported that. It's not like the USDA says, "Oh, we found that." No, every day, every action, everything that happens, we call it the blue art or blue notebook. That we actually everything that dolphin goes through, every animal, we write down what they do. From when we fed them, if we weighed them, if we took blood, every animal has.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so every animal has that information daily,
right.
7 days a week. At the end of the day, that information goes to our vet, and she reads, okay, everything's good, and then she goes into her vet information computer and record anything that she thinks it needs to be recorded,
right,
so she got records of it.
Yeah. Okay. How many animals do you guys carry at any given time? Like,
well, in total, we have over 1,000 animals. That includes fish, stingrays, sharks, birds. But marine mammal, we have 34. Between dolphins and sea lions.
So
that's incredible.
Yeah. So in this case, where do we go now? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? How do we? I'm not the mediator. Obviously, if not, the whole world would be fixed. But anyway, my question would be: is what happens now? Where with everything that's gone on? The Lolita sadly passed away. What happens to the Miami Seaquarium now?
The Miami Seaquarium, what's going to continue moving forward? That's what I said. A lot of the, I'm glad you were here. We're clearing a lot of the air. We're open. We want people to come visit our park. We're going to continue investing in the park. Once we settle this with the county and come up to an agreement, and we're going to keep it 24. But like I said before, our goal is to continue making this a very friendly place that people can come visit us, have a good time, get educated, because we talk about pollution. Let's protect the environment. And, I drive down the Key Biscayne Bridge, and it drives me crazy. I've seen every time I see a boat that is overcast because of the bad weather, I'm saying, the pollution is probably going to the ocean. So we got to educate our kids. Let's take care of the environments, take care of these animals, because it's the only way we're going to continue growing and protecting the environment.
So what do you say to those folks that say, listen, that's beautiful, that's great, but I don't believe in captivity. I don't believe in the fact of having a whale in a circle, or I don't believe in having these dolphins in just that little thing 24/7, 365 days a year.
I tell them to come and see it themselves, and I invite them to come and see it and say, Edwin, you invited me, call me, come and see it.
I would love to.
And then I'll give you an opportunity to swim with the dolphin. You guys come and swim with the dolphin, see what it is, see the environment there are. It was funny. We had another conversation with somebody who was asking, well, dolphins are supposed to swim 80 miles to find their food and things like that. And our head vet was with us. Again, I'm not a vet. And he said, yeah, that's true in the wild. But if you are in an area that you're giving your food and you're giving your exercise, there's no need as an animal to swim 80 miles.
Right.
Yeah.
So as long as you be active and do things, and each of our dolphins are in different diets, kind of like athletes.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So, and things that you're going to learn things that I want you to go there because you'll learn, the women will love to hear that. The dolphins shed their skin daily.
No way.
Every 4 hours, they shed their skin.
I think we should bring like a dolphin trainer on to talk about like their interaction with them. How much do you know about the dolphins themselves? Like how much do they eat a day, or like how's their interaction?
Yeah, that would be great if we bring a dolphin trainer. As a matter of fact, one of the things we've been doing, we're so proud, especially since I took over managing the park. We're bringing a lot of these guys that left Cuba. They used to work for the aquarium in Cuba or different dolphin things. So they're bringing them in. Yeah, they don't speak the language, but their knowledge about animals and they
it shouldn't be the language. It's your trade. If you know your trade,
you know your trade, and they're like, man, you guys are doing everything the way it is. I guarantee you, our kitchens are better than any restaurants in Miami.
Yeah. No, I guarantee you that too. There's a lot of them out there.
According to Dirty Dining.
Listen, we clean our kitchens daily with Clorox and disinfect. And when we bring the fish in, if the box is cracked and the plastic is cracked, we throw that box away. We don't allow our animals to eat it. Wow. If you're feeding a dolphin and the fish or whatever you give him, the squid falls on the floor, that gets thrown away. We don't give it to the animal.
Why is that?
So they don't believe in the 3-second rule. Of
3-second rule.
I give it to my kids all the time.
Right.
Oh, coño, go.
But is that for cleanliness reasons or what? 'Cause I feel
Cleanliness
like they
reasons.
should be able to eat that.
Cleanliness reasons.
Bacteria,
anything like that. We just want to make sure they eat the best.
Yeah, it's more expensive to have to nurture that dolphin back to health than to just throw away a little fish.
Absolutely.
Another box of squid.
Yeah. And how much food do how much food do you guys order a day or something like that?
We spend easily every 2 weeks about $20,000 in food.
For
A lot of fish.
A lot of fish.
That's just for the dolphins.
There's the dolphins and
the sea
the
lions.
seals. The sea lions.
Is there a special, I mean, nowadays, because all the ones here that have dogs and cats, people, this one can't eat that. It has to be the raw. Is there special diets for some of these?
And each of them have their unique diets.
Yeah.
If anyone they're on some kind of medication, they do that. They take care of this. So, like I said, every dolphin has a chart.
Wow.
That every day you record what's going on, whether they ate, how many pounds they ate, when was the last time you got an X-ray, CT scan. They have
It sounds like what I do every 6 months.
Yes. It sounds like a human.
We were in top of our dolphins.
Do you notice some dolphins like this meal more than this one? Like, do they have
Absolutely.
personalities? Like different
Absolutely.
personalities?
I'll take lobster versus, I don't want the mackerel. I want a little.
You guys, some dolphins that like to eat a lot. They can get up to 600 pounds, and you got some of them that are in the 300 pounds. Depends what kind of, because we have different kinds of dolphins. Some of them are bigger and smaller.
Yeah.
Some of them
Yeah.
are mixed. And it's the same
Do you
thing.
think they believe in a little bit of Ozempic for that? too?
And do they see, like, when they see one of their trainers, do they identify themselves as a specific
Absolutely.
trainer?
Absolutely.
Do they get happy like a dog does?
Yeah, so when I walk the park and I walk the dolphins, they'll pop their head up and say, well, this is the guy, he doesn't feed me, so let me go back
Oh,
down.
wow.
Yeah, so they recognize faces, they recognize sound. The way the dolphins train with them is more like a sign language and the whistle, and using their hands to do different activities.
Wow. That's incredible.
Well, listen, I'm very happy because we bring people onto the show because we get a lot of questions. We get a lot of people always, are all in Instagram saying this. We always put out there the fact that we're going to be talking about Seaquarium. A lot of people are saying, "What's the future of Seaquarium? What happened with Seaquarium?" The people are against captivity, so. We like to bring the people out there so they can get informed. I mean,
Absolutely.
we bring the other people. We always extend invitations to the other people, to the county, if they want to come out and explain their reasons of why, the citations, why this, why that.
Oh, yeah, what, Animal Services Department?
I don't know. What
No, Animal Services Department doesn't.
No.
Because remember, like I mentioned, USDA is the only one that
Got
regulates
you.
these
True,
animals.
true, true.
But in the county, what is it? A co-compliance? Is that
Co-compliance is the building department is the one to look at our building. Other than that,
Well,
that's
we
all.
can reach out and find out. We would love to have them and give their view of why.
Yeah. Why do you get 50 citations after 15 years?
Yeah, that'll be great.
Because again, I go back to those that I and people that review us and say, I mean, the ones I can remember, I'm not that old. But at the end of the day, we would go out to Seaquarium. I mean, those were the biggest field trips in camp and everything. You would go to the Seaquarium, you go here, you would go to the water parks, and sometimes those water parks, I don't even have to tell you, I mean, they're so dirty that nobody even knows. But that was growing up. That was growing up in Miami.
Well, they were going to do a water park by Metro Zoo or my Zoo Miami.
Well, I think
and
you
I
guys
mean,
wanted to do
I
that.
wanted to do it. I
Yeah.
tell you a story, and again, all this stuff. I mean, nothing. To hide.
Wait. Tell me about the water park that was going to be built by Zoo Miami.
Okay, here's what I know. So I knew that Zoo Miami was going to build water park. With the time that I went to meet with Mayor Cava, Jimmy Morales, that I told you about in October, I called the Parks and Rec department, the director, and say, guys, I know you're having a hard time because everybody back there is saying to try to build this.
Yeah.
And why don't we partner to build a little water park here? And I was told, we already have contracts. We're not interested in partnering with you guys. But, I thought it was great because one of the things we agree with the county, as soon as Lolita passed, the whole area where her pool was to demolition that, get rid of it. So that all that land is there available to build like a little water park that kids come in.
Yeah.
I had kids, right now they're all 25 and 22, but when they're little and grumpy and hot, the best thing to throw them in water.
Yep.
And I'm like, it's a no-brainer. A no-brainer. And that's what I want to do. But they said,
And you have the view as well. Which is
you
a
have a beautiful
spectacular
view. We have the most beautiful view
it is.
in Miami.
Yeah.
People don't know we have a marina. We also have an area that we hold weddings. called Sunset Point. Most beautiful areas. I invite you guys to come over and visit us. You're going to go, wow, I didn't know.
Well, listen, I used to attend many, many big parties.
The Kiwanis.
The Kiwanis used to host, I mean, you had 2,000 people go to the
Yeah,
Kiwanis
absolutely.
party in the Seaquarium. It was one of the, not for anything, but it was really one of the hottest parties always to go to. It was great because it was so entertaining with all the different bands. It was a great, great venue for that thing. So I can attest to the sense of the...
Yeah, we got to go. I haven't been since I was a little kid.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Crazy.
Yeah, you can maybe swim with the dolphins and...
Let's tell you, come over and swim with the Dolphins.
Only if he comes.
Do it.
I want to see him swim with the Dolphins. That'd be funny.
Let's do it.
I'm down. I'm super down for that. I like that.
Bring your family, kids, or anybody you want to bring. And
So again, I mean, I'm
Wait. Are we gonna get a verbal confirmation of Manny gonna swim with the Dolphins?
well, listen.
hey, okay, tell you what, Manny.
I'll tell you this
Tell you
much.
what, go into the water with the seals.
But wait, I don't know which is worse.
Oh, the seal is like you make a
Let me
baby.
tell you something.
baby.
Let me tell you something. I swam with the dolphins.
Okay.
I swam with the dolphins in the Keys.
Okay.
So I would always be in the Keys, and we went. What's the place in the Keys? I forgot the name right now. With it's right there by between Tavernier and Morada. The place where the shows, they have dolphins.
Okay, yeah, the big,
and,
yeah.
and everything there.
So we have another.
And we went in the water. I went with the kids, and the dolphins would come, and you would swim with them. They take you all around that area. Which again, is that also a sanctuary? Also, that's another place where they have dolphins in captivity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's in the Keys.
No, but that's a for-profit place. The one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's profit.
yeah, I mean,
yeah, because sanctuaries, I don't think they let you play with them.
No,
They just let them
sanctuaries,
go and
yeah,
that's it.
no, that would right. That's a for profit.
yeah.
I mean, I remember it cost.
Oh, I bet. Yeah,
It costs a
usually.
lot.
Well, usually it's like $125 to swim with dolphins. No.
A little bit much higher now.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
almost, it depends. It goes from about $170 to $200.
If I remember, I think I paid for the family. I think I paid about $600-$700.
Wow. And
I'm
how's
talking about years.
How's the process? You go into the water, you hang out, and it's like a 2 minute ride. Or?
Well, yeah, it's the process is of course you sign your waiver and everything else. You have a trainer come to you and tell you about the animals, what the do's and don'ts, and what your expectations are. We're going to give you a wetsuit, a life vest.
Yep, I remember that.
You're going to get, again, to know they're going to introduce you to the animal. You're going to be, because you're going to have different personalities.
Wow.
So they'll tell you about the personality of this particular dolphin, what he likes, doesn't like. So, and at the end of the day, you're going to be so educated about these animals that, you're going to go, I learned something.
So it's like a tour.
It is.
It's like a tour.
So
It
it's a minimum of 1 hour between the training, the talking, the interaction with the animals, everything else. It's going to be about an hour.
And how fast does someone go on with a dolphin? Like how fast do you usually go?
Some of them you can go, and again, we control this. I mean,
you tell them to slow down, or
of course, we don't want you to like fly off.
It depends who's on the dolphin. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
So yeah, we don't. It's more to enjoy
The experience. Yeah, I got you. Is there anything else you want to? Actually, the other thing that I had was, I don't know if we talked about it specifically, but you guys have a 20-year lease with the county. Okay, you're not going anywhere. You're planning on continuing forward and making the property better and enhancing it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what we've been doing. I mean, we've been spending money. I mean, people, it's an old building. It's from the 19. Imagine this year we're gonna be 69 years old.
Wow.
So that's all the building is. Some of the buildings have been done in the 70s, some in the 50s. We got a 20-year lease. Our plan is to continue that 20-year lease, continue investing. A lot of people haven't seen the investment because when we got there, it was a lemon. We took over a lemon. And the water system, the pump system,
I'm glad
and all
you
that
just
stuff
said
was
that,
back.
because you took over what year?
2022.
In 22. And it's funny you just said that, because I'm glad that Eddie brought that up, because I remember, I think that my sister had mentioned to me, she had gone years back, and she goes, this was way before 22, and she told me she's found the place very run down.
Yes.
And to your point right now, you said the place was a lemon. I remember her telling me what's happened in this aquarium. So, it's important for people to know that you guys took over on 22.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And we invested, for example, where the flipper show was,
right.
People like me, flipper, we invested over $200,000 in a new floating dock.
Wow.
Because we didn't want wood. We want this to be aluminum and look nice.
Well, there's new things.
Yeah, new things. The umbrella, the shades, the pump system, the water system. Like I said, we got people there working 24/7. They're, training them. where the Dolphin Harbor is, making sure the pools are to hold that, because I don't want to talk bad about the old company, but they did take care of stuff. So we had to come in and resurface pool, fix things that, we know that were bad, that we didn't want our animals to go through and things. So that was been our goal, to fix things.
How many people go through the Miami Seaquarium like a month average, like attendance?
We could go from 30,000 a month.
That's
to
incredible.
Right now it's a low season for everybody.
Yeah,
I tell you,
yeah.
it's school starting, things like that, so you can get 18,000 in a month.
That's incredible. I did not think that many people were going there, but that shows you the power of the media, the power of bad media in this case. But I would love to go there and check it out and see.
And again, I'm glad I'm here because it's to me
cool,
what I
it's
call
cool.
good media. Go there, enjoy it, and
our biggest goal here always is, we're, as our podcast is called, The Day of Miami.
Yeah.
So this is just sitting down and people giving their version and explaining their version, because sometimes you don't hear the full thing.
You don't.
And some people always, trying to judge quickly.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, all our viewers and to all our sayers, everybody has their right to their belief and the fact of either captivity, not captivity. All I want to say is that I remember as a kid, we had a great time in this aquarium. I had a great time on all the different, aspects of all the attractions that Miami had to offer. And again, if that happens here, it should happen throughout the whole United States with all the different places, because how many places don't have...
I think it's just like selective outrage.
But it's funny because when you said it that Capotais, the vet that comes, the USDA vet that comes over, he lives in Palm Beach.
Okay.
So he tells me, I don't hear any of that stuff. Palm Beach.
Yeah.
He goes, so it's just here in Miami that we hear this. I don't know what's going on in SeaWorld. I know that SeaWorld gets attacked by these activists because we kind of keep an eye on the activists, because they can show up with an army of them. And you got to be, because we talk to each other.
Yeah.
We apart says, hey, be careful.
I'm going to tell you something crazy. The other last week we had Animal Services Director here. Okay. And you know that everything goes crazy with the dogs in the shelters.
Yeah,
nobody
absolutely.
comes to pick them up, etc. She told us personally, Eddie, we see these activists, we see everybody posting online. She goes, we see nobody walking through these doors when it's time to pick up the dogs.
Absolutely.
She goes, that's it. She goes, so everyone wants to talk about it and complain and everything, but nobody actually comes and does anything with it.
Because she even explained that a lot of percentage, or even the owners, are just open the door and let the dog go, because either some of them don't even, then they find them, they go, your dog's here, nobody go picks it up.
So it's like a social thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Something they're ruining someone's life and business, and then they're like,
crazy.
next thing.
Listen, we know that sometimes the activists even pay college kids to come over.
100%.
And they show up in the Uber, and here's your car, go out there, here's my part-time. And, okay, well, that's what they wanted to do, but that's what they do.
But it's effective. It is effective, bro.
Again...
Welcome to the world of democracy. This is what we do here.
The beauty about it, more and more people are seeing our side of the story. They're seeing that we're not, we're taking care of the animals. That these animals were born there. They're born in these habitats. Yeah. That when you come in, a lot of people... I just had, again, I was telling you guys about the Special Olympics. One of the guys, one of the coaches or the head, because said, not sure if I want to be here. Fine. That's cool. Let's just, I want you to go through this experience. Let's meet the sea lions. Let me meet my trainers. I'm going to take you to the kitchen, because I'm very proud of our kitchens. I just tell everybody. And at the end of the swim with the Dolphins, a guy came back to me and said, man, you changed my mind. These trainers love their animals. You guys are doing the right thing. You're teaching people. You're doing what is necessary in this world to educate our kids about the environment, how you got to take care of it, because that's the only way these animals are going to survive.
Yeah, but that's the point. But again, if you go to Metro Zoo, don't you see when all of a sudden the trainers come out and feed, the animals, or if they see a lion or they see one of the animals, a little whatever, they have to put it down really quick just in order to go ahead and treat it, put the anesthesia, take a look, take out the blood, the whole thing. I want to know what's the difference. There's
no difference.
I just think
I think we got a bad media situation because of all the
Lolita.
Right. And I think there's some groups behind all this stuff. When we were saying, we are in prime land, like it or not. Key Biscayne.
I was going to get to that beautiful
area.
Don't let them
So that's another show.
So there's been some pressure. Hey, you know what? If we get these people out of here, why can't we give it his land?
Oh, that's called powerful groups out there. Powerful groups
Listen,
out there.
That's a perfect place for a condominium, you know?
I have got again. Some of this stuff people don't understand. There's a
Spectacular beach club, by the way.
So there's a mattress and hammock restriction, which basically that land belonged to the Matheson family who gave it to the county.
Yes.
So there's some how you could use it is very restricted.
Yeah.
Good.
And so people need to understand that. But I got email, the CEO of the company got email, hey, listen, I want to buy your license there. I know you got 20 years, you have an issue with the county. Tell me your number. Tell me your number.
Of course. This was a...
Hey, drop names or did it happen? No, I'm just kidding.
You know what?
No, we did. Listen, our point has always been, we're here for the people. We're here for 20 years. We want to continue growing this park the way we are committed to do it.
Yeah.
I tell you right now, this should be a little Netflix series.
Yeah.
You know, in the fact of...
I tell you what, I'm not going to throw a name, but when we were doing the agreement...
Throw it.
No. We were told by a politician to say, hey, you know, what this thing we're doing with Friends of Toki, we should do a Netflix movie and everything else. Right? We're like, we're not into that. That's not what we do. People understand that.
No, that
Guess
politician's
what?
look at STL.
The funny part, Friends of Toki, the activists, after we separate,
They go do it.
They have a movie in Toki, making money. I was like, we said we never gave you the right to do that, and like, what do you mean? And they put a movie out there, and we're like,
Yeah.
who gave you the rights?
But you guys don't own the rights to the animal. That's the thing, or do you?
What? It was Toki belonged to us, just like the other Dolphins.
Yeah.
But they actually, because we were a partner, they would come on, this is for documentary. Well, that documentary became a movie.
Wow.
Well, I mean, but let's look at some good lawyers here, brother, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think I like what you guys do a lot is very good is you educate the children.
Absolutely.
The children see the animals. Same thing with Zoo Miami. They see animals because you're very separated from real wildlife in real life.
Absolutely.
And you end up getting into the field, hopefully. You're becoming a veterinarian.
What other kid are you going to throw in the middle of the ocean? Oh, go look at the whale.
You can't
Go
see
look
that.
at the shark.
A lot of
Go look
kids
at the
don't have opportunity to even get on a boat.
Absolutely. Listen, we host every year thousands of kids that come in from public schools, and we're open to do that. You know, and they pay pennies because our belief is let's educate these kids.
Yeah, it's good.
And that's the best part when I see these kids laughing and having a good time.
Super happy.
And educating and picking the plastic bottle from the floor because they say, hey, I don't want that to go to the water because, you know, I don't want it to hurt the animals. That's the kind of stuff we want.
Edwin, a real pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I would
It's
love
been a
to
pleasure.
see you.
And I just want to reiterate to everybody, you know, you guys can go ahead and do your opinion and
Complain.
do your views or whatever, but our goal is to bring everybody to explain their position, and you can go ahead and then make your own assumption for that.
There was a lot of people out there, media channels and pages, showing drone shots of the last minutes of, Lolita's life and never really talking about anything else.
Yeah,
that's right. You know, that's right.
The last thing, you know, and then you see like green water.
Yes.
And everybody I take to their show me the green water. Because people can manipulate their cameras or the videos to make it green water. But when you go there, you see the water, you can see your hand and things like that. They go like, wait a minute. You've been telling me
I remember that. Yeah, people saw
so everybody say, oh, it's green water. You know, we got a brand new penguin habitat. That people say, oh, the penguin, look at this habitat. It's beautiful. You know, better than my house.
I'm going to explore your guys' social media. I can only imagine the comments you get there, but
absolutely.
Doozies. There's going to be a couple here too, by the way.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Real
next
pleasure,
show.
real pleasure.
We'll see you next time, guys.
Thank you, guys.